it really just comes down to speed. Speed kills, and when I went back and watched the fight yesterday, and then I watched it again this morning on my way here. Man, you could tell that Patricio was second guessing a little bit after a couple of the things that AJ threw. And what happened was he actually reached to parry the kick or something. He reached to parry the strike, because AJ went to feint and then threw the head kick right behind it. Yeah. He parried too much, where the hand came in front of the face because he was worried about the speed, and the kick came right behind it and got above his glove. It wasn't even above it. His hand was over here, and it just connected right to the neck, right to the side of the face. And I mean, perfect job by AJ. But the speed was the factor. Anytime you're dealing with someone who has that much speed, and we talked about he had problems with Daniel Strauss back in the day because Daniel Strauss was piecing him up because he was faster, he was more athletic, he had all the speed and the combinations to throw, and AJ was in that same scenario. Just the speed, and you could just see Patricio like flinching a little bit, kind of overreacting a little bit, and he overreacted trying to parry that, I believe, the straight left, and then the kick came up behind it, and boom. And you don't need to land it hard. It just got to land, and that's what rocked him right off the bat. I mean, Patricio took the full-on head kick. There was no block at all whatsoever. No. He took that shit to the dome, okay? And guess what? He was still pretty much kind of standing. He finally went down, but it was like, he didn't drop him right away. He lost his balance and then went down.
He did not go down off of that kick. He went down off of the uppercut that hit him.
That's right.
There was a left uppercut
that's right.
That's what put him down.
Yep.
Never saw it.
So when that fight happened, I was like, holy shit. I mean, everyone's talking that AJ's the real deal. There was never any doubt before. I mean, we knew that he was the real deal, which is a matter of how would he deal with someone with that type of experience in Patricio. And he's never had to go to the championship rounds because he's dispatched everyone he's fought. Now, I tend to think that he shouldn't go right to 55. I want to see him defend this title one time, and I think Adam Boric is the perfect fighter for him to defend it against. I'd like to see that fight. Now you defend it one time, now go up. Go up and let's see.
Well, Boric has got a fight coming up, right?
I didn't see if was there one announced for him.
I was thinking that he's got a fight coming up. I may be wrong, but I think Boric would be a good person for him to fight, but it's a matter of let's talk about the Patricio fight. Let's also talk about the fact,
J.J. Wilson.
There it is, J.J. Wilson. That's a good fight. That's a really good fight. Undefeated fighter in J.J. Wilson. Very good ground game. In talking about, we talked about this fight for how long, and we had, we actually, and we joke about it all the time. When this featherweight tournament came up, you and I just said, all right, we're going to pick our dark horses. And I picked AJ. I said, and you go, you can't pick him.
Can't pick he's not a dark horse.
There was a reason I picked him, and I believe in the kid, and I've believed in him for a long time. And, I've watched him grow. And it is the difference of, look, when you get someone that athletically is touched, now it's a question of where is their mind at? Where is it that they figure out, or do they not figure out that they're not so special that they don't have to work hard? Because, we talk about all the time, hard work beats talent, okay? Because hard work will get you to a place where that talent will break down. AJ was in that position for a while. Here in Bellator, he had talent. He knew he had talent, and he didn't work that hard. He made those mistakes, and he's a different fighter now. And in looking at this, if there was a certain time in this fight, watch when Patricio he throws a jab out, a straight left jab, and he gets countered off of it, and his never came close, and he gets touched, and you can see in his mind it was like, uh-oh, that's a problem. And he started at that point. It wasn't the stalemate of they were kind of positioned in the middle, not moving back either one. Because Patricio does not like to move back, and I said he had to move, AJ back. If he's going to be successful, he has to move AJ back. And AJ at that point starts pressing him down and starts pushing him towards the cage, and I went, oh, he's in trouble. He's going to have problems in this fight, because if AJ is able to come forward and decide the range of the fight and initiate those attacks, Patricio doesn't have that type of physical speed to match up with him. And then he doesn't have the range, and so now he's at a real deficit in the fight that he has to take these lunging attacks. And you can go back in fighting all the way to, there was guys, Joe Frazier was one of my favorite fighters, but you take a look at him against, Muhammad Ali, and you look at all of the things that were working against him. It's what made it amazing that he was able to fight the way he did against Ali, but it was that he took chances and he was going to accept damage. And he told himself, I'm going to accept damage. I'm going to go into this guy and he's going to be, lighting me up with shots, but I've got to take those shots so I could land mine. That's the type of fight you're going to have to get into if you're Patricio going against AJ. You've got to put it in your mind. I'm going to have to take damage. I'm not going to be able to outspeed this guy. I'm not going to be able to get a lot of counter strikes that I'm normally getting on other guys. This guy's good enough. My footwork is not going to be that much better than his, and my counters are not going to be that much more effective against this guy than they are against the others because he's too fast and he's got too much range on me. But, this is what happens. There's always that point where there's that guy that comes in and he puts it on the champion. And unfortunately in fighting, this is the story that, eventually, and I say all the time, eventually you're going to be on someone's highlight reel. It sucks. Yeah. It is the nature of the beast in this sport. Patricio has nothing to feel bad about in this fight. He came out, and he's just an incredible champion. What he's done, it does not matter that, AJ beat him. That doesn't take away from his legacy, and it doesn't take away the fact, look, he's still a dominant fighter in Bellator, and they're going to fight again somewhere along the way. I don't think that they should throw him right back. I don't think that's a smart thing to do in throwing him right back into the mix, either at featherweight or even at lightweight. And I had talked about, well, then they can they can do it again at lightweight. Patricio is going to need some time to figure this one out, because at no point in this fight was he in a position where he never touched AJ. AJ just went through Karhanian without getting touched. He got touched by Derek Campos, and he got hurt with the knee, and he had more difficulty, but he got rid of him there. He didn't get really touched by Darian Caldwell. So the only guy out of 4 fights that touched him was Derek Campos for a couple of rounds. He didn't take much as far as damage throughout not only a fight, but we're talking about a tournament. Yeah. Impressive.
Yep. All right. Well, hey, let's, I agree that I thought the fight was a good fight. It was great performance by AJ. Tip my hat to him. And, it was sad to see Patricio get to the pinnacle of his career, basically for him to make the most probably amount of money in one fight. And he just came up short. You like to see legends like that go ahead and complete the cycle. You know what I mean? Be done with it. And then to be like, hey, anything that happens after this is golden. But he'll be back. He'll be around. He's I think 34 years old. He's still got some miles left on him. He's still the champ at 155. So we're going to see him fight.
100% agree. Okay.